So you can go to the analysis itself. So we import the data first. Browse. So this is week 4, Ego graduate test. So you see the variables that we have. We have two variables. We have stock and dividend for a period of 100 days. And we go step by step. Our first step was what? Our first step was to check the stationarity, or to test the non-stationarity. I come here, I have explained that step 1, load the data, set time series structure, and visualize the data. We have already done this one before, so I did not write detailed step by step on how to load the data, how to set the time, how to visualize the data, because we have covered in the previous weeks. So what we do here, we have already loaded the. So we set the time. We declare a data set as a time series data, meaning we set the time variable as date, and then we click OK. Then we can visualize the data. So we go to graphics, can create. So the X variable is time. We see the stock, see the behavior. Sorry, in it be a line plot. So we accept, click OK. And you can see that is the movement of stock, and it has an upward trend. Then we also go to visualize the dividend. We edit. Instead of stock, we put dividend. We click accept, then we click OK. And you can also see that it is also having an upward trend. So that one is the first step. So the first step is done. We go to the next step, step 2. The unit to test for both the stock and dividend. So this one, you go to statistic time series test, and then you go to ADF. So we come back here, you go to statistics. Now we are testing the stationarity for each one of them, and you are using the augmented Kifura test. So we test the first one for stock, and the results are there. And if you look at this p-value, it is 0.9, which is greater than 0.05, which means that we fail to reject the null hypothesis, and we conclude that this series is not stationary. So at levels, it is not stationary. So we also test for the second one. We test for dividend, we click OK. We get the same values. The unit root, sorry, I have tested for stock. Test, I will prefer test for dividend, click OK. So this one is 0.09092. It is also not stationary. So if you check our first requirement, that if both have a unit root, they are non-stationary at levels, then you proceed to step 2. Remember, we said that for there to be a co-integration, or for you to proceed, the two must be non-stationary. The two must be non-stationary, and we can see they are non-stationary at levels. They are non-stationary, both of them are non-stationary at levels. So what do? We difference them, and we test for stationarity at first difference. So we generate a new variable. So you could generate a difference variable of stock which is equal to a difference of stock, D stock. Sorry, there is a space there. So you generate the first difference of stock. You also generate the first difference of what? Of dividend. So this is D dividend. Generate like that. And then if you look at the data, you can see we have generated two variables, the first difference of stock and the first difference of dividend. Remember we said that the difference, it means that the current period minus the previous period. If you take 12.74 minus 8.24, you get 4.5. Sorry, yes, you get 4.5, just like that. So we have generated the different variables for stock and dividend. So now, because we have the first difference of each one of them, we carry out the time the augmented Kifura test or stationarity test now for the different series. So if we test the stationarity test, we carry out the stationarity test for the difference variable D stock. You see now, after differencing, it has become stationary. The p-value here is less than 0.05, meaning that we reject the null hypothesis, and we conclude that the series is stationary. Then you do the same for the dividend. Then we use D dividend, difference to dividend, and the same results are observed. So for the p-value, D dividend here, the p-value is 0.04, 0.00. So we reject the null and accept the alternative. And we conclude that for the two series, the first difference is stationary. The first difference is stationary. So that is step 2. We have tested the ADF, or we have carried out the unit 2 test for the 2. Then we go to step 3. We run the regression analysis, whereby the dependent variable is stock and the independent variable is dividend. Then after running that, so we go to statistics, linear regression, and linear model and related, and then linear regression. We come back here. Remember, this is what we are doing in this case. Now we are in this step 2, estimate the long run relationship. You run a simple linear regression whereby we have stock and we have dividend. The reason as to why we are running out this simple regression analysis is because we are interested in this in this error term, so that we can test the stationarity of this error term. So we come back here, we go to statistics, we go to linear regression. So our dependent here is stock, our independent here is dividend, and then we click OK, and then you get the results. So we are not interested basically in these results. What we are interested in is the error term. We are interested in this error term here. But to get the error term, we have to run the regression. So go back here down. In step 4, so save the residues or the error terms. The residues are the same as error terms. So the error terms are the test for stationarity. So we just use this command that you predict the residual values, comma residuals, and then you test for stationarity of the residual values. What you do here, you come here, we run this command. So you are predicting, that's why we write predict, the name of the residual value. We want to call them the residual value. Here we can put any other name. Then comma residuals. So in other words, we are predicting the residuals and their name is called residual values. So just put enter. And if you check the data now, we have new variable called residual values. These are simply the error terms that we have generated and we have saved them there. So our interest, as I have said here, is to check or to test the stationarity of these residual values, so that now we can test if there is co-integration or not. So we come here to statistics, we go to time series, we go to tests, we go to augmented Dikefura tests, but in this case we put what? We put the residual values and click OK. And we see the p-value here. The p-value is 0.0328. This p-value is less than 0.05, and therefore we reject the null hypothesis and conclude that there is the residual values are stationary. This is what we had in this case. This is what we had in this case. You can see the p-value is 0.0328. So we said that in the above, p-value is 0.0328, which is less than 0.05. Therefore, we reject null and conclude that there is co-integration. There is co-integration, meaning that dividend and stock have a long-run relationship. Now we are satisfied with the first three steps. We definitely know now that the two values or the two series have a long-run relationship. They are co-integrated. And now because they are co-integrated, we go and check how are they co-integrated, how are they behaving in the short run. So to do that, we carry out the error correction model. And to carry out the error correction model, we come to step 5. We generate the ECM model and estimate. So how do we generate the ECM model? So we generate the ECM, and the ECM is the lag of the residual values. So we just carry out this code. So you can just copy that code to your Stata. We can just write. We generate a variable called ECM, and this ECM is equal to lag. You put L, and it is a lag of what? Of the residual values. So we generate a variable called ECM, the error correction model, which is a lag of the residual values, and then you click OK. And then if you check your variables, now you see that we have a new variable called ECM. So we are done with that. Then you estimate. We estimate. And to estimate is to run a linear regression. You go to statistics, we run the linear regression. We run a linear regression, which now takes us to the step 6, that run a linear regression analysis, whereby the dependent variable is D stock. Now you have to note the difference in this case. We shall not be using the original values of stock, but we shall be using the difference stock, simply because in the original values they were non-stationary, but after differencing them, they became stationary. So for in this case, we are going to use the difference values of stock, which is the dependent variable. For the independent variable, we use the difference values of dividend, and then we add another variable that we have generated in the previous step, which is the L residual, the lag of the residual values. And then we interpolate the results, and that one will be the end. So we come back here, we go to statistics, we go to linear models, we go to linear regression. So we have said that our dependent variable in this case is the D stock. Our independent variables are two. They are what? They are D dividends, the difference dividends and the ragged values of the residuals. We come back here. Where is it? Come back here. So we add, let's first of all delete all of them. We add the dividend, and then we add another one called the ECM. We add the ECM because the ECM, remember here we said that we generated a variable. We generated a variable called ECM, and the ECM is the rank of the residual values. So here we add the ECM and then we click OK. And then we get the results. Here are the results. So we have regressed D stock against D dividend and ECM, and we have obtained the results. So the first result is this, the effect of dividend on stock. And then the second one, which is very important, is this one, the ECM, whereby we first of all check whether it is negative and whether it is significant to see whether there exists a long-run relationship between them. And then we see the magnitude, the size of this coefficient, which tells us about the error, the speed of adjustment. This is exactly what we had here. This is exactly what I was explaining in this case. So we look at this one, 0.05, which means a unit change in dividend leads to 0.05 change in stock. And then we say there is a long-run relationship because the ECM is negative and significant, and as well, the speed of adjustment.
You are really breaking.
Sorry?
You are really breaking since you started interpreting.
Guess there is an issue with the internet. Am I clear now?
Yes, I think I can hear you now.
Good. So I was just summarizing in explaining this, and I was saying that we have obtained here are exactly the same as I was explaining in this case, where I was saying that the important aspect to consider is this coefficient, and you can see it is, and then the ECM, you check that whether it is negative and significant, and then you check the magnitude, where the magnitude tells us about the speed of adjustment. That is it. So we explain in the case of you are carrying out the analysis or this is to explain. That is it.